This is my channel, The Sewing Gardener. Welcome back if you've been before, and if you are new, a very big welcome to you too. For those that have been here before, it's been a while. I am so sorry I have not had a vlog out for nearly a month. Very poor form considering I haven't been vlogging for very long. But life has literally got in the way, and June was so busy, as was the beginning of July. I just didn't find the opportunity to produce a vlog at all, of which I do apologise. I have been to 4 concerts in 3 weeks, and I have visited Lytham St Anne's, Lancaster, London, Cardiff, and I've worked in between, moved my daughter out of university, my youngest daughter out of university, and it's just been a very busy time, so I apologise. But I am back. However, going forward, I think realistically in the summer, oh, there's a moth just come in the window and it's gone on the back of my neck. Sorry about that. I think realistically, fortnightly is going to be a lot more doable, particularly because the garden is so busy at the moment, and I just think fortnightly. We're going to go fortnightly. If we get more done, then that's great. So how are we all? Have you had much sewing? I'd love to hear what you've all been getting up to in the comments. From my last vlog, not the So Fruity one, but my actual last vlog, I asked if you wanted gardening content. I have. Yesterday I was in the garden all Saturday afternoon. It's now Sunday evening. Was in the garden all Saturday afternoon, and I filmed a bit of my vegetable garden, and I've also filmed what I've did yesterday afternoon. So I'm going to put that at the end of the video. Would bookmark it. Don't know how to do that, so I can't, sorry. Maybe I'll learn when I'm uploading. But if you want to not bother watching that, that's totally fine. And it'll be at the end. So I'll do the sewing vlog, then I'll tack that on. So yeah, but do let me know if you do want me to carry on with that, and if you want hints and tips for things to do during your garden as well, just let me know and I can tell you what you can do for the month. Right, let's get into sewing. I'll tell you what I'm wearing. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Cocoa, which, here we go, it's a dress. I made it in a jersey fabric that I got from Beyond the Pink Door probably 4 years ago, might be longer. It's got little ice creams on it, and some of the ice creams have got little cat faces in them. There's one there, a little cat face. And yeah, I just love it. It's quite a thick jersey, so I tend not to wear it when it's overly warm, but it's quite muggy here today. It's perfect weather for me today, and I feel the cold. I'm never happy. Either too hot wearing it, too cold. But yeah, I don't really wear it on holiday because then that would be very much too hot. But I changed the neckline. I did a boat neck on my Cocoa, which I rather like. And I used a cap sleeve, or does it have I've either changed the sleeve or I changed the neck. I can't remember. I made it ages ago, but it is on my Instagram. And I've no idea what size I made either, because it's, as I say, I made it ages ago. So that's what I'm wearing. I've got things to show you that I made. I've got my So Fruity makes, which some of it will have been in the vlog for plans, but I did get some of them done, didn't get all of them done. And then I've got another couple of garments that I've made, and I've got some purchases. So yeah, let's get into it. So first what I'll show you is my little apples that I made for So Fruity. Now, I did a tutorial for this at the end of my So Fruity vlog because I was inspired. I got this apple in the Fabric Godmother Dream Wardrobe box back in November last year. And when I was waiting for a Teams meeting, is my work from home space is also in my sewing room. It's just there. I could see that when I was waiting for people to join, and I thought, oh, how difficult would it be to make? And as I knew So Fruity was coming up, I made a template and had a go. This was my prototype, which is now my Strasbourg. That did not go so well. But yeah, I then made this one. So they're little pin cushions, and I decorated the leaf like that on that one. And then this one was the one that I did in the tutorial, which is a bit less of a fancy leaf. But yeah, they work really well. And I've stuffed them with, we had a cushion that burst when I washed it in the washing machine. So I've been using that stuffing for that. Whereas the prototype was filled with overlocker thread. And it's just a bit more tricky to get the pins in. They don't go in quite so well on that, but they do on this. So there's that. The other thing I did manage to get sewn up was my pot holder, which was from the Laurie Holt Vintage Farm Girl book. I did the cherries because I had cherry fabric for the backing as well. I did use white thread to start with on the backing. I just did a free motion. In the bobbin I used blue thread, but it kept coming through on the front, so I unpicked it and just did white, so that's why it's got white backing. But I just love that. I think it's so cute, and do you know, I think they would make really good pictures. I'm thinking of doing some more and popping them up around the kitchen. Or even then just having like a little, if you used a little loop, you could hang it on the kitchen wall, then you could just take it off and use it for your pot holder at the same time. That's my thoughts anyway. Let me know what you think to that idea. And then my So Fruity make was with fabric that I got given from my mother-in-law from Bornella Fabrics. And it was this tangerine embroidery anglais. Well, I say tangerine, it's probably oranges really. It's on a creamy background, but it's got these fabulous oranges on it, and I made the Fabric Godmother fleur. And weirdly, I made the Fabric Godmother fleur for So Fruity last year as well. But yeah, I absolutely love this dress. The comments I got on Instagram on it were amazing. A lot of people said, oh, orange is definitely my colour, and isn't a colour that I would normally go for, but I think you might be seeing more orange in my wardrobe following that. I think I made a 10, or I definitely did a 10 bodice and graded out to a 12 on the hips. Didn't have the pockets on this one. I didn't have quite enough fabric, but actually my other one does have pockets, and whilst they're great, I don't miss it on this one. So that's a fabulous summer dress. I think I lengthened that as well. So I've done that. The other thing I wanted to finish sewing in June, I started in June and wanted to get finished because it was for the Sew Blood Pressure challenge, was my Blanca flight suit, but I didn't get it done. I sort of forgot that I had such a busy week when I had a week off work. I was thinking, oh, I'll have loads of time for sewing. No, I had no time. But this is my Blanca flight suit. And that, when you look at it, funny on the camera, you can only see it. When you look at it here, you can't see it, but it seems to show darker bits. It looks dirty, but actually it's where the top stitching meets some of the lines. So I used this railroad denim. It's a light denim, lightweight denim. It's fabulous for this. I have worn it. I put a little, I mean, who is she? I actually used one of my labels, which says perfect enough. I got that from Bornella as well within the package. And sorry, I've noticed something on there. I digress. But yes, I lengthened the bodice on this, as I lengthen all of my bodices. And what I did, or what I didn't do, when I came to do the continuous, because I cut my zip from continuous zipper tape, I just read the instructions for how long the zipper needed to be without adding the additional length. So when it came to the top, my zipper was short. So I had raw zip showing, but what I did, I just cut a couple of extra bits of the denim and made these little stoppers. So I've, in theory, made my own stoppers there to hide the raw zip, but it also stops the zip. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it. The make itself, didn't actually enjoy the make. Although it comes together quite easily, I didn't overly enjoy the make because I was switching continuously continually through normal thread and top stitch thread. All the pockets are sewn on using the top stitching. You top stitch throughout. I mean, the finished result is fabulous, but to keep switching was really annoying. But it's got some pin tucks on the back here, back pockets. There are different versions that you can do. You can do a longer sleeve one, you can do a different belt if you want. There's some different, I just did a normal leg bottom, but you can have a tab on the bottom of your trouser as well, but I didn't go for that, I just went for this, and I really love it on. I've wanted to make this for so long, and sometimes when you have that, sometimes your mates can be quite disappointed. I was not disappointed by this. I absolutely love it. So pleased I've done it. Will I make another? Possibly. Not in any rush to. And if I do, it definitely won't be top stitched throughout. And then the final garment that I've made that I wanted to show you is, ooh, it's wheeled on it. Is the Atelier Scammet, I think that's how you say it. It's the Zoe dress. Now this pattern, it comes, you can make a blouse version or a dress version, and you can make either with sleeves or without. Obviously I've made the sleeveless version. I had the bizarre idea last Saturday before we went to see the Stereophonics that I could sew a dress in 3 hours. No is the answer. Well, in fairness, I probably could, but if I wasn't going anywhere, I probably could have cracked on and did it. But I obviously had to get ready myself and get organised to go catch the train. So I admitted defeat. I thought I can't rush the buttonholes. Didn't want to rush the buttonholes. So I finished it Monday, I think, and I've worn it since. But this is a fabric from Beyond the Pink Door. I've just noticed his thread there. It's got an elasticated waist. I think I cut the size 12, but I could definitely size down. It's quite baggy, which is what I wanted it to be, breezy, because it was going to be really hot and I wanted a breezy dress. And it absolutely fits this remit, as does this fabric. This fabric is absolutely gorgeous to wear. It's such a lovely quality viscose. But that was from Beyond the Pink Door, which I got in a subscription box a couple of years ago. And I finished it off with Pigeon Wishes buttons that have been in my stash forever. But you bind, the neck bindings, using net. Oh, you use binding to finish the arms and the neck, not the hem, although you could have used it for the hem, I suppose. But yeah, that's that, and I can see more Zoes coming into my wardrobe. So they're the garments that I've made. Now, things that have come into my sewing space. I feel like a bit of a cheat on the last sew standing, but this pile I'm about to show you is fabric that I bought with the other half of my birthday money. And then my husband bought me some fabric, which I just couldn't say no to when we went to Lytham St Anne's before we went to get our daughter from Lancaster University. So we went up there for a couple of days, and there was a fabric shop there, and they had a sale on, and completely out of season, but they were making way for new Christmas stock. They were getting rid of last year's Christmas stock, and all fabrics were £5 a metre, I think. So I bought the entire, what was left on the rest of the bolt. I couldn't resist. Is this, and it's to me, so it'll be, my daughters don't watch my vlogs anyway, and they haven't seen it. This is for their pyjamas for Christmas, and a £5 a metre, and I think I got something like 8.5 metres. My husband paid for me, and it was just a bargain. So super. I'm very thrilled with that. It needs to go in the wash. I need to do it so my daughters don't see it. But I've got plenty of time, she says, because you always have plenty of time until you don't have time. So that's that. And then this little pile Fabric Godmother had a sale, which I accidentally saw. So I couldn't resist. Had a look on and things accidentally fell into my basket. But as I say, I had the rest of the money that from my husband for my birthday. So that was good. Now this one was quite a cheap fabric on there actually. And I can't remember for the life of me now what it's called, but it's got a crinkle in it. And I bought this specifically for summer to make a cord set or a long flowy skirt with a little top. And it's such a fun print. I thought it was, I couldn't resist. It was £2.99 per half metre, something like that. So I bought that, got a few meters of that one. This one I've always kicked myself for not buying, and then I was like, well, no, I don't need it. But it was in the sale, so you know, you can't resist. And it's this beautiful viscose. It's got a jacquard on it. I don't know if you can see that on there. Would you call that tiger print or zebra print? Not really sure. Tiger I'll go for. And it's got this cobalt blue, sort of like a nutmeggy colour with a cobalt blue outer edge. And I've got 2.5 meters of that. All of these have been washed, so they're ready to go. I bought some plain black bamboo. It's a bamboo, classic bamboo natural fabric, but I bought it specifically to make a pair of wide leg trousers in that, as I don't have any black bottoms and I've got so many patterned tops that is a brilliant staple. It's like a twill, but it's a light twill, yeah, made in bamboo, lightweight. This one I put in my basket and I thought I'd deleted it, but obviously I didn't. Is a fibre mood fabric, and it's got like a sort of animal print, black on cream, and I thought it would go great with that. So perfect for work. It's a cotton, quite a nice weight cotton in that. And then the final one was this ditzy print. The blue just popped out to me, and I thought that would be, it's sort of on a grey black background. And I didn't get very much of that, but couldn't resist, so I got that as well. So they are going to be plans for August, September makes in there. And then the other thing that's come into my, oh, actually I'll show you what I made. I did also get a block. I should have made, actually I've gone into fabrics before I finished my makes of them, but remember my sheep and sprites? I wanted to get that sewn up, and I did yesterday. So, and there she is, my sheep and sprites to go. So this is part of the farm sampler quilt from Our Teachers Quilting Company. I've done that one now. It will go with the others. The next block, which I would like to get cut out, but I've mentioned before I always feel a bit sick when I'm cutting out, is the horse and tulips. So that's my next block. I'm so far behind on this. This is actually finished. And I must make sure I print off the remaining blocks because I haven't printed them all off. But they were doing them every couple of weeks and they've finished now. So I am very much behind, but it will get done and I'm determined to do it. And that leads me on to my next quilt, which is extremely exciting because this was ordered last November for my Christmas present from my mum. And that is the Mad Quilt Party. I can't wait to see it. So to do it, I chose, you could have had this version, so I've got all the fabrics as well with it, or you could have had this one, the purple sprinkle dust, but I didn't think that showed up the characters quite so well. I thought the blue backing just made the characters pop But here's all my fabrics. Right, it's all in Tula Pink, so I've got those. Going to be a lot of cutting out, but they're already there. I've got some binding to go with it, and I've got a great little postcard from John and the team to say thank you. But as New Moon Forest, was it? Is it New Moon Forest? Oh God, I'm so useless with names. My brain at the moment is terrible. It's too much in it. Was also being released, and I checked with Lossa standing to say, could my mum purchase something for me? And they said absolutely. So I've got these. When John said he was cutting them, and I said, could they be added to my order? Has my order been dispatched? And he said no. So I've ordered all of those. There's some great little bits in there. So I've got that collection. I won't get them out. I've got that, and I also couldn't resist this either, because you can't get it as a PDF, and I would have bought it as a PDF ages ago. Can't. So we got that one, the mini block sampler quilt. I mean, some of these are so cute. Look, there's the roller skate, love that. There's a toadstool on there, a little ghost. There's an ice cream and a cat. Just, that's another thing. Can't wait to get started on that. But I'm going to finish the farm sampler quilt first. Talking of quilts, is anybody going to the quilt, God, what's it called? Quilt Festival? Quilt show at the NEC. I will be there on the Saturday. I thought I could go on the Friday, but actually I can't, because I just remembered it's my daughter's graduation in Nottingham on the 31st. So we're going to Nottingham, staying overnight, doing the graduation. So I will be back and going to Birmingham on the Saturday. Do let me know if you're going to be there, and if you see me there and you are there, just come and say hi. It'd be lovely to meet so many of you. And that's about it, actually. So sewing plans, oh, I've got so many. Graduation dress is the one that I need to be concentrating on, and I thought I would make the assembly line balloon sleeve dress. Now I got this in a box from Hey So Sister, actually with the fabric that I used for my Blanca flight suit. But I've seen Tanya from I've Still Got Nothing to Wear, or whatever, that's something like her, that's what her name is on Instagram. She's made a couple of these. She's made one recently with a lot of leftover remnants of fabrics in green, and it looks amazing. It is quite fabric hungry. It uses 3.5 meters. Oh, actually, I was reading the smaller width, which is 5 meters. So 3.5 is not so bad. I've got quite a few that's 3.5. But you can also, when I was looking at it on the instructions, you can also do it in a short sleeve. So I might actually do the balloon sleeve dress without the balloon sleeves. So it'll be balloon sleeveless dress. It won't be sleeveless, it'll have no balloon sleeves. The non-balloon sleeve dress. So I might make that. I'm not fully decided. There is a named clothing shirt dress that I've got called the Rika, R-A-I-K-A shirt dress, that one. Might make that instead. And if I do that, I've got a nice, this sort of ditzy fabric there, which I've got 3 meters of, so I might do that. But that's it from me. I hope you've all been well. Do let me know what you've been getting up to in the comments since I've been absent. I say I will endeavour to get vlogs out every 2 weeks or so. But yeah, Be great to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think of the gardening content. Is it what you expected? Is it not what you expected? What would you like to see? If you don't want to watch that, that's totally fine. It's going to be on now. But in the meantime, I will say thank you for watching, and I will see you all very soon. Don't forget to look after your skin, and I hope you get some lovely time for sewing. See you all soon. Bye. Okay, so this is the vegetable garden. There's our dog. She had a stroke last week, so she's not the steadiest. We've got runner beans there, a thyme hedge that needs trimming. We have a bit of a flower border with an apple tree there. Ooh. New potatoes are in there. Still got new potatoes in there. Squash, pumpkins and squash, they have grown massively recently. Raspberries beyond, they're pretty much done now. Onions, dog on border. Oh, and there's a bird trapped in the thing. Bird managed to get out, dog is now in. There's the onions, they'll be lifted soon to dry. That is a bed of kale. So yeah, there's the raspberries in there. That was my lettuce that bolted while we were away. Haven't dug it up. I've got parsnips in there, tomatoes which I've not caned. Autumn raspberries in there, they're just starting. Pear tree there. Crows keep eating my pears, really annoyed about that. Broad beans are done, they need to go because I picked them the other day, they were disgusting. Got a courgette in there, other squash which are desperately dry, but these are for small gardens, these squash in here. Are they pumpkins? Might be pumpkins, can't remember. Sweet peas, the hot weather, I did not enjoy the hot weather there. Got some sweet corn there, and some leeks. And then if we go in the greenhouse, I haven't opened it today, be a bit warm. We've got tomatoes, all cherries, much prefer cherries. I've got some aubergines here, and I think if we look, I've actually got fruit in there. On there, they're all coming. I grew these from seed. I've got chilies galore in there and some more aubergine. Dahlias are coming out. I'm going to plant them out now. Some chilies and peppers. The dog's just fallen in the tomatoes. Some larkspur there, and then some basil and some parsley in there. And that's it. That's my little veggie greenhousey patch. So yeah. Oh, I've just come back down to get these, to plant these out, and I checked the seed packet. They're not larkspur, they're actually ostrich feather asters. So I don't know why I thought I planted larkspur. Perhaps I did and it didn't germinate. I can't remember now. But yeah, I've moved all the dahlias out and see making some room there. But I'm getting loads of chilies. Look at my chilies. So these are all grown from seed. I'm really rather pleased, as were my tomatoes, which I think I've mentioned before. I grew tomatoes last year and not one of them germinated. And then this year I planted extra and every single one, I think, has germinated. So there we go. I've planted the dahlias. And what else did I do? I trimmed up the box hedging. I planted out the dahlias and not the larkspur. Asters. There's some in there. They're all over the place. Hold on. Moved that. Didn't do those lavenders. Planted some more asters in there and behind there. And then tidied up here. Asters in there and cut all of that lavender there and behind there. Ignore that. That's an old table thing. Yeah. Now I'm going to sit down.